Trump is militarizing Washington, D.C., and that is good news. We're taking the town back from murderers, from squalor. He's talking about beautifying the whole place. This is where he lives. We're going to go into the controversy, the legal precedent, the Democrats' crybaby tantrum. Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is where the happy patriots are. You know, this is a model for thinking outside of the box, of course. I wish he would implement this across other cities like fixing Chicago, LA, New York, just ending crime instantly. If he had the invitation, by the way, from those Democrat leaders, he could do it. But of course they won't, because they'd rather have murder exist in their city than give Trump a win, and this is a big win. This is where the news is right here. I'm here to give you guys just the big stories so when you check in on this channel, if you watch all 4 videos, that's my quad club out there who watch all videos all the way through, you will have caught up with every major news story for the day. You're completely informed 100% on the MAGA agenda, and part of that is destroying the Democrats. Here's Trump.
Purpose, very serious purpose. Something's out of control, but we're going to put it in control very quickly like we did on the southern border. I'm announcing a historic action to rescue our nation's capital from crime, bloodshed, bedlam, and squalor, and worse. This is Liberation Day in D.C., and we're going to take our capital back. We're taking it back. Under the authorities vested in me as the President of the United States, I'm officially invoking Section 740 of the District of Columbia Home Rule Act. You know what that is? And placing the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department under direct federal control, and you'll be meeting the people that will be directly involved with that. Very good people, but they're tough. And they know what's happening. And
They're tough. They weren't allowed to act tough. This is true for many of our government workers. We have good people in the IRS. We have good people in the Department of Education. We have good people in the FBI. I have a good friend who used to be an FBI agent. He just retired last October. He said there's good people here. We're not allowed to move. We're not allowed to do anything because we're under Democrat rule. Leadership, you know, he'll be able to unleash even the local police in a way that makes them effective. It's just like the southern border. Biden and everyone, they were always blaming Republicans, saying they have to pass a law, they have to pass this or that. Come to find out, all you needed was a new president, and the border is stopped, secure, clean. Watch the night and day difference from what Washington, D.C. was before Trump, and now, after it's put under his authority and control, it will be clean. The homeless problem will be gone. Crime will instantly stop. It will be beautified, no trash. It will be more beautiful. It will be safe for good people to flourish. We're going to get into all of the stories of the people under oppression of Democrat leadership. This isn't just true for Democrat-run families. Your family is in despair if you have a Democrat parent in charge. Your church is in despair. Your city's in despair. Your state is in despair. Your country's in despair. And as the country goes, so goes the world, as America goes. The whole world was in despair before Trump. That's what all this means. So this is just another exhibit. This is going to provide more evidence of, do you want to win with Trump, or do you want to lose doing it your way? Democrats, they want to lose doing it their way because they just want the power.
Done it before. In addition, I'm deploying the National Guard to help reestablish law, order, and public safety in Washington, D.C., and they're going to be allowed to do their job properly. And you people are victims of it, too. You know, you're reporters, and I understand a lot of you tend to be on the liberal side, but you don't want to get mugged and raped and shot and killed.
They'd rather have that happen than vote for a Republican. That's true. He's going to the press, media right there. Is this what you want? Do you like the safety? He'll completely change it and make it safe so women can walk down the street at night, go shopping, get to their car, and drive home safely. Democrats will vote against it? That's what's so insane. This is evidence, you know? They don't want to win under any circumstance. They want power. We have to get power away from this Nazi, this crazy man, this insurrectionist. We have to get him, even if it means I can't walk to my car at night.
And you all know people and friends of yours that happened. And so you can be anything you want, but you want to have safety in the streets. You want to be able to leave your apartment or your house where you live and feel safe and go into a store to buy a newspaper or buy something. And you don't have that now.
I like how he has to explain it to them.
Murder rate in Washington today is higher than that of Bogota, Colombia, Mexico City, some of the places that you hear about as being the worst places on earth.
I'm going to show you the stats on that proves that Washington, D.C. is worse than some Saudi Arabian cities. Now, the Democrats, of course, are going to come in and throw their little tantrum and go, you can't nationalize the Washington, D.C. Trump is a dictator of some kind. Of course, they did it all the time. Here's January 14th from 2021. A week before Biden's inauguration, we're going to take you back to Gavin Newsom announces he's deploying 1,000 National Guard members to help the California Highway Patrol protect the California state capitol from insurrectionists. These people are dumb. I'm sorry. Gavin Newsom, look at him, reptilian, antichrist. He had just freshly molted his skin and put his hair gel in. What a disaster. Where's your tie, you ingrate? This is from 2021, where he's boasting about bringing the National Guard to the California Capitol to secure it from me, the insurrectionist.
Let me be clear. There will be no tolerance for violence. That's why today
there was for Black Lives Matter.
Along with the CHP and Office of Emergency Services, I've activated the California National Guard to support the CHP to enhance security with an initial deployment of up to 1,000 Guard members to protect critical state infrastructure in and around the state capitol. Also today, we're standing up temporary security perimeter around the Capitol.
Fencing. Oh, man, what a whore. Gavin, you didn't mean it. This is part of the Russia hoax where they were still faking, using the highest authorities to roll out their story. This is against the January 6th insurrectionists, where they were trying to say a coup is happening. They tried to take over the country and we're going to protect California. This is him just doing, this is marketing. Deploying the National Guard and the California Highway Patrol, wasting their time trying to push a story through media, push an agenda. This was all just media marketing.
We'll, of course, share additional information and additional measures
as we make it up.
We're taking in the coming days. But let me be clear. What we witnessed in our nation's capital was an undemocratic and unconscionable assault on our republic and the freedoms upon which our nation was founded.
Yeah, wait till we investigate J6 is coming, guys. That's part of the Kash Patel and all of their removal of all those scumbag lawyers that went after the J6ers. That investigation's still coming. It'll probably hit within the next couple months. Give it time.
California will take every necessary measure to protect public safety and our democratic principles and to ensure that those disgraceful actions are not repeated.
Every time he smiles, watch his giant donkey teeth. They look like in the public bathroom, a line of perfect porcelain urinals, his caps. Every time his teeth opens up, the white is so bright that it burns the back of my retina.
Here, let me be clear. There will be...
Okay, let's go to the next bit here. This is back to Trump saying somebody murders someone and they're out on no cash bail. This is about the actual what they did to jack the numbers in this crime and hide. The statistics in D.C. are much worse. Well, I'm going to show you how all their leadership has been lying about even their murder statistics. They're still off the chart.
The crisis stems directly from the abject failures of the city's local leadership. The radical left city council adopted no cash bail. By the way, every place in the country where you have no cash bail is a disaster. That's what started the problem in New York, and they don't change it. They don't want to change it. That's what started it in Chicago. I mean, bad politicians started it, bad leadership started it, but that was the one thing that's central, no cash bail. Somebody murders somebody and they're out on no cash bail before the day is out. We're going to end that in Chicago. We're going to change the statute. I spoke with Pam and Todd and everybody. We're going to change the statute, and I'm going to have to get the Republicans to vote because the Democrats are weak on crime, totally weak on crime. They don't know why. They want to stop because they get mugged too. but we're going to change no cash bail. We're going to change the statute and get rid of some of the other things.
I feel bad for him because he needs Congress to vote on the no cash bail thing. He actually needs Republicans to step in and help him out. Will Republicans do anything of the like? Unite and get it done? I know it. We'll get back to the story in just a second. I know what some of you are thinking. What about the Epstein story? I thought Epstein was more important than Washington, D.C. Victory. The Epstein story is almost dead in the news because it's trivial Democrat propaganda.
What are you seeing in these numbers?
Yeah, I would say that this is, from at least a political point of view, quickly turning into a dud of a story. What am I talking about here?
Which is wild.
Which is wild. Which is
They can't believe it, given all the effort they gave to try and undermine Trump's agenda with the Epstein story. Why isn't it sticking?
For 3 weeks.
Exactly. Take a look here. Google searches for Epstein down 89% versus just 3 weeks ago, falling through the floor. It is no longer the top term searched alongside Donald Trump's name. That's been trading off between Taros and Vladimir Putin, with obviously the meeting coming up later this week. But at this particular point, the American people's interest in this story, it's quickly becoming something of a nothing burger.
So out of sight, out of mind, maybe is applying here a little bit. But has it impacted? Have you seen numbers that have impacted Trump's popularity, favorability, anything?
No, not really. I mean, take a look here. Let's take a look at the overall numbers. Trump's approval rating in July of 2025, it was 45%. It's still well within that margin of error here at 44%.
This proves Trump is absolutely dominant of media, guys, and this means we're going to continue to win. Media tried running up this Epstein story, and I'm fine with that. Trump's going to investigate. They're going to investigate it. They're going to release whatever files they can put out to the public. I don't have faith in any of it that you're going to get any new news or anything significant. That's been my take on it for a month. I've lost 500 subscribers over it, people that want to stay lost in that trivia instead of what Trump is doing in D.C. today to actually end murder in the capital of your entire country and therefore the entire world. More important, this proves Trump runs media. He told everyone, look, get off the Epstein thing. Are you guys still on it? He made it clear. And now, lo and behold, media is seeing that everyone followed. Trump has more power than all television and online. We're going to get to Mike Davis, whom I just love him. Look at his Twitter here. This is from Rapid Response 47. We will also take over the horribly run capital of our nation in Washington, D.C., clean it up. This is a Trump campaign promise from March of 2024.
We will also take over the horribly run capital of our nation in Washington, D.C., and clean it up.
I thought this was brand new. Trump just started. No, this is an idea that he ran on over a year ago, guys. This is promises made, promises kept.
Renovate it and rebuild our capital city, get rid of the slums so that it is no longer a nightmare of murder and crime, but rather it will become the most beautiful capital anywhere in the world. What do you think these leaders come in when they come in to see the president? And they ride over a road that's full of potholes and garbage. And the medians, you know, those metal medians are garbage that you put them up 2 days later. I think the sun melts them or something. They expand and contract. They're laying all over the ground.
Trump is disgusted by the medians. He's a builder. This is his personality, guys. Over a year ago, he was calling it. He warned you.
But you look at all the filth and you look at the graffiti on beautiful marble walls and you look at what happened, and most importantly, you look at the crime and the murder. You leave, you go from Virginia, you want to take a trip through Washington, you end up getting shot, killed, or something. And it's a shame. We're going to be very strong. We're going to take over Washington, D.C. We're going to run it properly. We're going to get rid of the slums. We're going to open up our parks. We're going to have to get rid of the tent cities and the tents all over the place.
That was March of last year, guys. It's been over a year. This isn't new. This is old. It just hasn't been reported because the media is lying to you and we're telling you the truth. This is where you get the truth, guys. I can't say it enough. I can't be scammed by media. I made media. I'm a mass media artist. I know how to make stuff that 500,000 people want to see: video games, comic books, animation, and now YouTube. I get how this stuff works. I see how newsrooms work. For Thanksgiving, I think I'm going to go back to Colorado, be with my brother who used to be a journalist. We're going to talk about how media works. I'll do a giant expose, how these editors run these stories up. I swear it is everything. They're trying to tell you what to think. I'm comfortable with your disagreement, but wait. When Trump talked about those numbers of how DC is less safe than Bogota. Here's Mike Davis. For months after January 6th, President Biden maintained an intense military presence on DC streets. That's back in 2021 with heavily armed soldiers, checkpoints, barriers, and razor wire. I did a video back then showing tanks, military vehicles. After one unarmed woman got killed by the Capitol Police, Democrats can save their fake tears today. I was there, guys. I took a trip. My youngest son, John, is about to go into the Marines this fall. He was in a fencing tournament back then. They did fencing, sword fights. And we went to Washington, D.C. for that tournament. And they had razor wire up all around the White House. That's what Biden did right before his inauguration. They put it up. They called in the National Guard and said, just like Gavin Newsom said, we got to stop the insurrection. They were saying we were the murderers, while real murder is actually happening on their streets. This is marketing, guys. And the Democrat media was dominant then. They could tell you anything. Not you, of course, the Patriots. We all knew we were calling them out back then going, what the hell? What are you talking about? There's not, the Capitol isn't under. So it was all a puppet show. They rolled out National Guard. They had soldiers walking around, razor wire up all around. I did a walk even around Kamala Harris's house. They had fences up, huge fences. It was all a pageantry of marketing to say Trump's an insurrectionist and that Republicans, MAGA Republicans, are trying to take over the country and we're violent. Bull. Funny bull. They were calling us names out and I laughed at them. Doug, how can you laugh? This is serious. No, it's not. No, it's not. They're a puppet show. Laugh them off the stage. They're Muppets. Look, here's the murder rate per 100,000 people in Washington, D.C. It's about 28 murders per 1,000 people. That's the murder rate. Here is Bogota. Down here, Mexico City, Washington, D.C., it is safer to walk downtown Mexico City, which is run by a drug cartel, is more safe than Washington, D.C. Islamabad, where if you don't wear a hijab, you get beaten. Islamabad is safer to walk. If you're a woman without a hijab, it is safer to walk around in Islamabad than Washington, D.C. Lima, Ottawa, Canada, Paris, Havana, Delhi, London, Madrid. Washington, D.C. is a hellhole. That's why Trump's going, hey, we're turning this around. This is a blight on America. But wait, there's more. This is the kind of pushback that Trump's going to get. This is from Garrett Hackey. As the president floats a federal takeover of D.C. and complains about the crime rate, D.C. stats show violent crime is down 26% of the district so far this year. Down. He's going, guys, you don't need to take this red line down 26% to about here. And you still have 20 murders a day. And Democrat goes, that's enough. That's all we got to do. It's fine. We're still the most dangerous city in the world, but reduced it by 25% under Biden peak murderland USA. He's angry. They just don't want Trump to do anything effective. These Democrats, so pro-murder. Here's Taylor Budovich in response to that. The cooking of the books for DC crime statistics is a serious scandal because, guys, those murder rates, that's not even all the murders. And think of all the crimes downstream from that. Bank robberies, people getting mugged. No one believes DC is safe. Nobody. America's capital should be a beautiful and peaceful sanctuary for the greatest democracy on earth, constitutional republic, but I get the common vernacular. I can speak English. Instead, citizens, visitors, and diplomats are terrorized by thugs and criminal. That ends today. Thank you, Donald Trump. Wait, let's get into that scandal of underreporting. Make DC safe again. Stephen Chung. For all the reporters who are trying to gaslight the public into thinking DC is completely safe, here's a reminder that the stats they're citing are not what they seem. DC police commander suspended accused of changing crime statistics. That's the headline. The DC police commander has been jacking their numbers down so you don't even know about the crimes. Here's how they did it. A DC police commander is under investigation for allegedly making changes to crime statistics in his district. The Metropolitan Police Department confirmed Michael Pulliam was placed on paid administrative leave in mid-May. That happened just a week after Pullman filed an equal employment opportunity complaint against an assistant chief, and police union accused the department of deliberately falsifying crime data, according to 3 law enforcement sources familiar with the complaint. So in DC, these whistleblowers came out and said they're falsifying crime data. And this is what Democrats do. Michael Pullman, he filed an equal employment opportunity against the assistant chief, meaning saying that he wasn't hiring enough blacks. That's how you do it. That's how Democrats do it in human resources all day. You guys know how this works. Democrats, they'll use another law. They'll get you. The union claims police supervisors in the department manipulate crime data, make it appear violent crime has fallen considerably compared to last year. See how they fake that data? That's what all the Democrats are running on right now. 25% lower. It probably isn't. They just fake the data. Pulliam, the former commander of the 3rd District, the patrol's Adam Morgan in Columbia Heights, was placed in leave with pay. That came about a week after he filed a complaint. News 4 reached out to Pullman for a comment. He denied allegations against him and referred us to the public information officer. Union officials said there's a larger trend of manipulating crime statistics in Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. When our members respond to a scene of a felony offense where there's a victim reporting that a felony occurred, inevitably there will be a lieutenant or a captain that will show up on that scene and direct those members to take a report for a lesser offense. So all of the statistics are knocked down. Fraternal Order of Police Chairman Greg Pemberton said, so instead of taking a report for a shooting or a stabbing or a carjacking, they will order that office to take a report for a theft, an injured person to the hospital, or a felony assault, which is not the same type of classification. Democrats use these rules. They're gaslighting not just media, police, but the police, their lieutenant. I'm going to go to the people on the streets now. These are the stories that they say on Washington, D.C., and how the Democrats are trying to sculpt this whole story. So you see now how this national story has greater implication.
If they're able to do that, then I think there's no problem with that, because there are pockets in D.C. that are significantly out of control. We have school zones that are drug-infested neighborhoods.
Mixed reaction from the community, but they all agree on one thing. Something must be done to decrease crime.
Yeah, they do. They disagree that Trump should do something, but they agree there's crime and something should be done about it. That's the bottom line. Trump is going to liberate D.C. just like he liberates the rest of the world. Washington, D.C. will be liberated today. Crime, savagery, filth, and scum will disappear. Just like that, guys. I will make our capital great again. The days of ruthlessly killing or hurting innocent people are over. That's what Democrats are running against, guys. I quickly fixed the border. 0 illegals in 3 months. That's a great demonstration. DC is next. Thank you for your attention on this matter. Donald J. Trump, you can run on it. Oh, what about the blacks? Trump's offending the blacks. No, Trump loves women. He loves women. That's why he wants to save them. He loves Democrat reporters. That's why he wants to save them from being mugged. He loves blacks. You were told he hates blacks. Look at this black woman, Nasia Israel. Brother was murdered in 2023 under Biden. Probably another Biden crime statistic that they went down to some other kind of assault. Listen to her story.
These people here in D.C., all these mothers, children been killed in the streets by juveniles, being carjacked by juveniles.
The 5 girls who attacked Reggie Brown were all tried and found responsible as juveniles.
Look at that. Look at this old man's face. This is who a bunch of teenage girl youths attacked. Look at this face. This, guys, is the kind of person that Trump, a billionaire, wants to save. And the only thing stopping Trump from saving this man are Democrats and the Democrat Party. That's the fight. All the juveniles got set free, under their laws.
Juveniles Currently under DC law, juvenile offenders can only be held until they're 21, so the girls will all get out within the next few years. Israel says she wants DC crime penalties to be tougher so that juveniles who commit murder can be held for life.
Put them away for life. If you're a juvenile murdering that man with the bent up face, you go away for life, preferably no parole. You take someone's life, by man's hand, you take theirs. They ought to get the death penalty. Here's Mike Davis. There's a growing interest in a niche group in the Senate led by Mike Lee, Republican of Utah. We like him, to repeal this act. And it has support from prominent GOP attorney and MAGA legal enforcer Mike Davis, that he's talking about himself, who has Trump's ear and is often the tip of the spear. He's always warning you of what he's going to do on controversial issues that intersect the justice system. Quote, the Constitution is clear. Congress, not local Democrats, must control our nation's capital. This could be permanent, guys. Davis tells Playbook the DC Home Rule Act of 1973 is unconstitutional. And it has, they brought the Home Rule Act, they brought it back to DC and no longer made it federal, no longer made it governmental. And it has turned DC into a third world Marxist hellhole. Congress and the courts must end this half-century disaster. There's a push for it now. Davis is encouraging Trump to press forward. The president must follow his constitutional duty and work around unconstitutional legal obstacles in his way, he says. Perhaps we can get Washington permanently back from the Democrat local control. On today's Playbook podcast, Adam Wren and Mike DeBonis discussed President Trump's looming announcement of his plans for DC. Trump's big announcement about crime and homelessness in Washington, that was set for this morning. And healing is coming. For who? Oppressed Black families in DC will benefit the most. This is black on black crime. Trump cares. Democrats, see this little girl? What they need, what that Black community needs is Trump. Thank God the Blacks are starting to turn and vote for Trump. He's going to help you. Democrats have been only harming you and your family structure. Your communities are destroyed by Democrat policies. And I just hate to see you vote for it, is all.
But likes the idea of having more federal agents on the street.
The mayor seems not to have enough control of the activities that are arising.
But the local mayor does not have enough control to control it. These are more stories. I could give you 100 of these videos right now. More stories on the streets of DC.
Shots, some bangs. We've seen police officers running in all directions.
I almost feel a little desensitized to it in a way because it seems to be of the norm. It's actually pretty scary that these teenagers own guns and that they are in the neighborhood.
That's the people. They're just used to guns. They're desensitized to it by now. Sensitivity is going to come back. Sensitivity to murder is part of what Trump will restore. Breaking, President Trump announces he is invoking Section 740 of the DC Home Rule Act, placing DC Police Department under direct federal control, as it should be, and it should be made permanent by a vote. Mike Davis ends us with, amen, any statute that purports to prevent the President of the United States from asserting the executive power over the DC police, a federal enclave, and our nation's capital violates Article 2 of the Constitution. This could go to the Supreme Court. I hope it does. But now you know the reason why this is important. If you like this information, you should subscribe. This is where you get it. I make the news entertaining. I'm Doug in Exile.